For Monday, August 18th, 2025. Is that better? There we go. If we can stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, our first call to order here is election of officers. We've had some changes. We will, I guess, go ahead and
I'd
give
like
a
to
recommendation.
make a motion for Tyler Enyart to be the president.
I'll second.
And can I go ahead and motion for Tanya Hyatt to be the treasurer as well, all in the same slate?
I'll second that.
Okay.
Secretary.
Oh, secretary, not treasurer?
I was wondering what.
Okay. Motion for Tanya Hyatt to be treasurer, secretary.
I'll second that.
Yeah. Call for a formal vote.
Tyler Enyart,
Yes.
Derek Rochester,
Yes.
Tanya Hyatt.
Yes.
Motion 3-0.
Approval of minutes from April 21st, 2025. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll motion to approve.
I'll second.
Formal vote?
Tyler Enyart,
Yes.
Derek Rochester,
Yes.
Tanya Hyatt.
Yes.
We do not have any old business. New business on the agenda. Action item number 1, Resolution 25-04, road projects, lease rental bonds, approving the lease agreement and issuance of bonds.
Yeah, thank you. And before we get into the formal legal presentation, John Nail, are you online?
Yes, I am.
Okay, would you just briefly talk through the road projects that are going to be covered by this lease agreement and the issuance of bonds?
Sure.
Thanks.
There are a handful of road projects that are covered. I believe it's Exhibit A in the document. I am currently driving, but I'm going off the top of my head and with what I recall from these projects. So 161st and Spring Mill Roundabout is one of the projects. 191st Street reconstruction widening from Tomlinson to Grand Park Boulevard, as well as a Monon Trail bridge over 191st Street are two more projects. We have the Monon Tunnel under 161st Street as one of the projects listed. And then there's a Chad Hiddle Drive extension and Jersey Street extension, which round out the projects that are in Exhibit A. If anyone has specific questions about the scope of those projects, I'm happy to answer them. But I'll just pause for now until to answer any questions you may have.
No questions from my end.
No questions.
I think we're all set. Thanks, John.
No problem.
All right.
Thanks. Good evening. Zach Klutz with the Taft Law Firm, and we're currently serving as bond counsel for this bond issuance. These bonds would be the Redevelopment Authority lease rental bonds, Series 2025, in a maximum amount not to exceed $40 million with a maximum interest rate of 6% and a maximum term of 20 years. These bonds would be issued to fund the road projects that were just described, and the Exhibit A that was referenced as Exhibit A to the lease agreement. So if you want to look, but that, I believe he covered each of the projects. This is one step of 3. We're before you for approval of a resolution that I'll walk through in a minute. We introduced an ordinance before City Council at their last meeting, and at their next meeting next week, they still have to sign off and formally approve the lease as well. as well as approve the RDC's levy of a special benefit tax to pay the lease rental payments. This body will be the bond issuer, and so we have a resolution before you that does the following things. It does approve a lease agreement between the RDA and the RDC, and authorizes the president of the RDA to sign the lease agreement. It approves the issuance of the bonds that I just described, and authorizes the RDA president to enter into a bond purchase agreement once the bonds are priced and sold. In terms of timing, we still have to go before council next week. The RDC will be meeting immediately after you and conducting a public hearing on the lease agreement. And then we anticipate pricing the bonds and finding a purchaser of the bonds in early October and selling them at October 30th, at which time the bonds would be funded and construction or the funds available for the road construction project. So I'll pause there. I'm happy to answer any questions about the lease, the overall structure. I think this body's fairly familiar with the lease rental structure. I believe you have another one on the docket as well, but I'll pause and take any questions.
No questions, thank you.
Okay, before you then is resolution number 2504. Thank you.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve resolution 25-04?
I'll motion to approve.
I'll second.
David, we can do a formal vote?
Tyler Enyart,
Yes.
Derek Rochester,
Yes.
Tanya Hyatt.
Yes.
Thank you, Zach. So before you guys move on to the next action item, this is just a bit of me stalling, but also a bit of me actually giving you guys a little bit of context on this next item. Brad Bingham will be here shortly. His ETA was 6:07 and it is 6:07. So our next item is actually for the purchase of some additional land at Grand Park. So as you all know, we've been over the last year studying a 150-acre master plan in the Grand Park area. And part of that land is south of 186th Street in the map that you see here in front of you. Actually increase this up to slideshow so you can see it a little better. So what you see here is 186th Street. This is Grand Park Boulevard. And there are a handful of landowners throughout this area. This is part of a large parcel owned by D&W Farms. And then there are a handful, I think it's 4, it might be 5 small parcels that are on the east side of Grand Park Boulevard, owned by a combination of D&W Farms and Henke Development Group. And we had the participation of Henke Development Group throughout the master planning process for the Grand Park Master Plan. They were really at the table with us the entire time, looking at the vision of what is to come here, and have been very cooperative in, really envisioning what we can see here at Grand Park as it gets fully developed into an entertainment and mixed-use district. So we are planning to close on this land this fall, and we'll be entering into a purchase agreement with both of those landowners, and our funding mechanism is this bond that we would be issuing. And Oscar, if you want to come up for just a minute, since we're waiting on Brad, and just maybe talk about the structure of the bond a bit, just from a financing standpoint.
Yeah, so the way that the purchase of the land is going to be structured is as bond anticipation note. We are going to issue a 5-year note, so think of it as a temporary loan to avoid paying interest for the first 3 years. So we are borrowing enough money to pay for the land and not make any payments on that land for up to 3 years. What will happen is during those 3 years, we'll allow the developer to begin to have enough deals to take down the land. After year 3 to 5, it will be an interest-only payment, and then by year 5, the full payment will have to be made. At that point, after 5 years, nothing has been worked out between the developer and the city. The city will have the ability to pay for the land, take control of the land. Our projections are that the city can take on this obligation. Obviously, we want private development to do that. It was structured this way for a couple of reasons. The city maintains control of the land under this structure, rather than allowing the developer to have control over what happens. This gives ultimate say to Janelle, so that if they want to bring in a bunch of storage facilities, because it would be a great idea, she can just say, no, I'm the landowner, you have to bring X, Y, or Z. So it's a 5-year bond anticipation note. It authorizes a bond to be issued after those 5 years. But that note can be paid prior to that if all the land is sold in advance. I hope I didn't overcomplicate that. The lawyers do a better job than me.
Thank you. Did a great job.
Thank you.
I'm not sure what Brad's going to have left to add before we vote. Ryan, I know Brad would love to come and talk more about this. Is there anything else that you think we need to have him present on this before we vote?
I don't believe so. This is, very similar to what was the vote on action item number 1, resolution 25-04. Very similar structure. If you have any questions, certainly let us know. But otherwise, it's something, again, very familiar with this commission.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't have any questions on it at this point. Do we need to wait on Brad, or can we go ahead and motion?
No, you guys can go ahead and vote on it if you're comfortable.
Yeah. You guys comfortable to go ahead and motion?
Motion to vote on resolution 2505.
I'll second.
Tyler Enyart,
Yes.
Derek Rochester,
Yes.
Tanya Hyatt.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone.
And that is all. If I see the agenda correctly, our next meeting will be Monday, September 15th, 2025, 6 p.m. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
I'll second.
All right, I'll call an end to the meeting.
Thank you.